Hello again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this virtual farm field trip. We are going live today at Nancy's Probiotic Foods in Eugene, Oregon. My name is Mariana Yamas, and I am the alternate Oregon Dairy Princess Ambassador, and I'm also a student at Oregon State University where I'm studying food science, and I will be the moderator today. Before we start our tour today, I wanted to go over a few logistics to make sure we have a great experience. We've muted everyone, and everyone will remain muted throughout the tour so everyone can hear our tour guide clearly. If you have questions, you can send them to us using the chat feature. It is now my pleasure to introduce our host and tour guide for today's virtual field trip. Blake Thompson. Mr. Thompson is the Chief Innovation Officer at Springfield Creamery. We're so excited to learn more about the creamery today. Take it away, Blake.
Thank you all for being here, and thank you for having me on. As you can see, we're in the plant right now. So we're at Springfield Creamery where we produce all of our products. I have been working here for full-time for about 8 years now. I grew up in Cottage Grove, so hopefully there's some classrooms from Cottage Grove as well. But my grandparents started the business about 65 years ago. So I have grown up in the business and enjoying every minute of it. I did my school. I went to the U of O where I was able to play football. After football, I came back here and worked on the production lines for a couple years. Then went back to the U of O again to do some business school and came back to the role I'm in now. So looking forward to showing you guys the plant today. And under innovation, I take care of the operations. So hopefully keep all the machines running and as well as new product development. So we'll see a bit of all of that today. So we'll start at the beginning of our plant, which is kind of the pasteurization phase. So every day we process about 30 to 35,000 gallons of milk. That milk comes from farms all pretty local, all within about 200 miles of our facility. And we're very fortunate for the farmers that produce that milk because that milk is some of the highest rated milk in the country. It's really what makes our product so good is starting with really good, healthy ingredients. First step is that you guys have probably seen on the freeways or on the roads, big milk tankers, big tube milk tankers. We receive about 16 of those trucks a week here, and that's the first step. So we receive the milk in, it goes into some raw storage silos, and then we start the pasteurization and processing phase. What you're seeing behind me here is one of our small pasteurizers. So this is where milk is going to come in. It all comes in as whole milk, and we might add some ingredients. We might add some vanilla flavoring to it. We might add some non-fat dry milk to it. Whatever we want to add, we can do it pre-pasteurization, and then the product gets pasteurized. Pasteurization makes the milk safe to consume, and from a very clean bacterial load, it also gives us a good clean surface and clean component to add our probiotics and our cultures to from there. So we make two different types of milk, or we make two different types of products in the plant. We make vat set and we make cup set. The difference is that the finished product might take its final form in the cup or in one of these large tanks that you see up here. So we'll follow both process methods today, and we'll first start with the cup set products. All the milk gets pasteurized, it goes through the plant. That's really the first stage. Next, we're going to go to culturing. So follow me upstairs. So our plant is segmented into raw and pasteurized sections because we want to be sure that there is no crossover. Everything that is pasteurized is kept very clean and very sterile. And so behind me, you can see all the stainless steel tanks. These tanks get filled and emptied about 10 times a day. And this is a batch process. So, 2,000 gallons of whole milk might come up into these tanks. and then it's cultured. Through that culturing process, we add our probiotics, we add the yogurt cultures, and that's what allows the yogurt to have an acidic taste as well as build the body in the final container. These tanks are tied to all of our fillers that you'll see throughout the plant. And you'll continuously see all the stainless steel piping. All the milk flows through that piping or is pumped through that piping to different areas through the plant. And so we'll follow this milk throughout the rest of the process. So now we have milk that is pasteurized, it's been cultured, and it's warm at this point. It's about 104, 105 degrees. And it's important because those cultures are frozen, but when they get thawed out and added to the warm pasteurized milk, they start to wake up. They start to replicate. And through that replication, they create lactic acid. Lactic acid is what drops the product pH and what kind of coagulates that protein in order to make that finished body of the yogurt. And so we've just added the cultures here. It's 105 degrees, and we have about 2 hours to get that filled into the finished product containers. So we'll go see some other processes. Yeah, for sure. Are there any questions about the culturing phase? Any questions about pasteurization? Any volume questions?
Sumter School third graders want to know, what flavors of yogurt do you make?
Yeah, we've made, over the years, we've made, if you can yeah, let's head down to slime answering. Most commonly, we're making vanilla, blueberry, peach, raspberry. Yeah, I've made spicy yogurts. I've made chocolate yogurts. Kind of any type of yogurt that you can think of. We've tried to experiment with it in one form or another. Cool. So we're going to keep moving on through the process. That product up there was all liquid yogurt. We'll follow that process shortly. We're going to see our cottage cheese room. It's a very similar piece. Everything gets pasteurized. So all the product that we make gets pasteurized. This cottage cheese, some of you may have had cottage cheese before. It is a very unique process and how it's created, because it comes in two forms. You have to make the little curds, the cottage cheese curds, and then you make the dressing and add them together and then package it from there. So we make about 15,000 gallons of cottage cheese on a daily basis. And it's one of our biggest growth components right now. So we'll just peek into this room. So this is a vat of cottage cheese here. You can see that this one is about 3,000 gallons of cottage cheese. It has been cooked. We've added the dressing on top of it, and you can hear the pump behind me potentially. That's being packaged into the filler from there. So we'll follow this product through as well. This is cottage cheese. In this vat, he has not had the drip. So this cottage cheese curd has been cooked. It has been drained and rinsed, but it does not have any dressing. So the next step in this process will be to add the cottage cheese dressing to this vat. Hey, done. Could do the cottage cheese right now. We'll see some fillers close, breaking up. Some of those are close. They desire to, and we'll view some yogurt. Is packaging our keeper. So again, all is pasteurized in this room. Right now, you can see behind me that they're packaging peach keeper. So you guys talked about flavors earlier. We do a strawberry, a raspberry, a blueberry, vanilla, and a peach on our drinkable yogurts. You guys have any questions about cottage cheese or keeper products?
What is dressing?
It's a good question. Cottage cheese dressing is you can do. It's pretty much pasteurized milk. For our Nancy's product that you find on the store shelf, it's actually yogurt. So we take that cottage cheese curd and those profile to it. Any more questions or keep moving on? Cool. So now we're gonna pick up that product that we saw upstairs in the large 2,000 gallon tanks. So we've just viewed a couple of vat set products. We're gonna regain the cup set product from here. Our facilities any better? Cool. So before, yeah, I was just saying our facility is a little bit of a maze. We've been here for 30 years and we've continually added rooms or warehouses or processing rooms on top of it. So there are some transitions. But now we're gonna walk into a room that is filling cup set yogurt. So right now I think that we're filling, or maybe they just completed, but we'll see some fillers. They just finished grass-fed vanilla yogurt in this room. So we have this room segmented off. One that is an open product where we're filling the container, and then two where it's kind of coming into a master case or a palletized system. So we can come into here. Okay. We have 4 fillers in this room. This is where we make some of you guys might be familiar with our big tubs of yogurt. We make our single serve units in this. So anything that you might put in your school lunch or grab and go to eat in the car. We also make our quarts of yogurt, which is our 32 ounce product. This filler, everything is okay. 10 minutes. Okay. They'll be starting back up in 10 minutes. They're kind of in between tanks. So I said that upstairs, those tanks might fill 10, 15 times a day. They're in between one of those tanks right now. So they'll be starting up in about 10 minutes. But we can see that on this filler, if we follow the path, the milk comes down from those tanks upstairs through the stainless steel pipes and into this hopper. That hopper fills with milk, and then the containers flow on this conveyor here and get filled with milk. They get the sealing film on them, which keeps the product safe from any contaminants, and then they get a lid on them after that point. From there, all the product may go through the wall. It gets a date code on it, so please enjoy this product by 5/27 or whatever that date code is. And then they get palletized through this machinery. this machinery takes a single file line of containers and stacks it up into a 6-pack case. Those 6-pack cases are what gets shipped to the grocery stores, and then the grocery store puts them on the shelf for everybody to purchase. So, okay, yeah, we'll follow the flow, and then we will come back and see the product being filled, because that's really the most exciting part, is seeing that product being filled. And remember, the product at this point, when it's filling the container, is warm. It's about 105 degrees, and from there it goes onto a pallet, and it goes into the incubators, because we want those cultures, those live cultures, to continue to grow and continue to drop the pH and reach the desired body of our product. So it gets palletized, and then we're going to take it into the incubators.
We have a few questions about yogurt. B3
Yeah.
third graders want to know, how many yogurt containers can you make in a day, and what is your favorite yogurt flavor?
Ooh, good questions. We can probably make about 100,000 plus yogurt containers in a day, which, is quite a bit, when I know I can only eat about 1 yogurt container a day. So our products are going in all 50 states. They're nationally distributed, and we're very thankful of all those 100,000 people a day that consume and purchase those products. My favorite yogurt is probably our grass-fed vanilla. It's a product that we have made for about 5 years now, probably, and we had a great time establishing and building that product with the farmers here locally. But it is a ode to the quality of milk that it comes in. That milk is the best milk in the country, and we really feel that is the best product we've ever made. So, any more questions about yogurt or kefir? Well,
One other question. Richard's
Yeah.
class would like to know, does someone taste test the yogurt for each batch?
Yes, that's a great question. So my grandpa, for the last 55 years, has tasted every batch of product coming out of the plant. And he has a better taster than any machine could ever have. He knows when the product maybe needs to develop another 10 minutes or another 20 minutes, or we're right at the time in which it starts to cool. And so he's been testing every product. Now we have a couple of quality techs to test each batch, but every single 2,000 gallon batch is tasted. It's tested to be sure that the profile is correct, the body is correct, and then of course we run all of our food safety tests on it as well. But yes, everyone is tested. That's a great question. Cool. We'll head on to the incubators as they're prepping to fill some more product. So the incubators are, just like an incubator you might have at school. If any of you guys have ever hatched chicken eggs, you hatch those eggs in an incubator, right? It's a warm environment that allows for the good bacteria that we've added to the yogurt through culturing to develop. So these rooms are kept at the same temperature, 104, 105 degrees of the product that we're putting into it. And we're just allowing that bacteria to grow a little bit more. We're going to incubator number 7 here. So this is incubator number 7. This product was just packaged and produced this morning. I think it was inoculated at about 10:15. And I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it's we'll go right out here, 105 degrees. And this product is going to need probably about another 2 hours until it really sets up as that finished product gloves. Someone will be in to taste the product. You're good. Someone will be in to taste the product, and we'll test it for pH. And then from there, the product actually cools in that room. So right now you guys can't feel it, but we are we're in a cooler right now. And this cooler is about 34, 35 degrees, where that room was 105 degrees. And so what we do is we blow the hot air out of the top of the cooler, and then we pull the cold air in from the cooler in order to cool this yogurt container in place. The next morning, the shipping crew comes in and starts to repalletize it and get it ready for shipment and shipping orders. So we're going to walk through the cooler. We might break up a little bit from a connection standpoint, but I hope you guys can see some of the inventory that we have. Our inventory changes about every 7 days. So every 7 days, there's new products in to replace the old ones.
We do have a question. Yankton Arthur Academy wants to know, where did the name Nancy come from?
That's a great question as well. So Nancy was actually our first bookkeeper. Back in 1960, when my grandparents started the business, they were just making fluid milk. So they were making milk that you might get in your school cafeterias. And Nancy came on as a bookkeeper. My grandpa had studied dairy technology at Oregon State and knew that he wanted to make a yogurt. Nancy had some experience making yogurt with her grandma as she was a kid. And together, my grandpa Chuck and Nancy kind of worked together and built what was first the original Nancy's Honey Plain Yogurt. And the customers would call up and Nancy would answer the phone saying, "Hi, welcome to or thanks for calling Springfield Creamery. This is Nancy. How can I help you?" And the customers would say, "Nancy, can I buy some of your yogurt?" And then Nancy's yogurt kind of just stuck from there. So it's really an ode to Nancy and her contribution, and it just continued to stick. So we're gonna keep walking, and as we're walking, you may see behind me, you may see 5-gallon pails of yogurt. You may see totes of yogurt. So we sell our yogurt in all pack sizes. We have some large customers who buy it and they make dressings out of it, or they might use it for frozen burritos and frozen foods. Some of it may go into baby food pouches or other ingredients. And so you'll see a lot of different forms of product in this cooler. It's really cold in here. So all of our coolers are kept right about under 40 degrees, between 34 and 40 degrees. And that allows the product to cool and really reach its final body. Any questions about the cooler portion of our process? Or maybe how many products we have in here, how many trucks we have a day? Any questions along those lines?
How many trucks come into, and how many trucks do you use?
Yeah, so we ship about 15 full semi truckloads out about every 3 or 4 days. And so those truckloads may stop in Arizona, and then their next stop might be Utah. But those trucks are being distributed from our facility out to every state in the country.
And then one class wants to know, what major stores can we find your products at?
Yeah, locally, you can find our products at Safeway, Albertsons, Market of Choice, Fred Meyer, Winco. Maybe if your town has a natural food store, you can find our products there. Most Oregon is a great market for us. We've been in this community for 60 plus years, and so it's pretty widely distributed in Oregon and really the Pacific Northwest. So we're gonna last couple 5 minutes, we're gonna try to make our way back and hopefully they're filling some products so we can see that process.
While you're walking, I do have a question. How much
Yeah,
time from start to finish does it take to make and ship the yogurt?
yeah. It's about a 3-day process. So day one, we might receive those milk tankers of milk from the farm. Day two will be uh, processing and testing and really making and filling the yogurt. And day three, we'll be testing it some more and really getting that ready for shipment. I guess it would go out to fill on day 4. So it looks like they're filling now, which is great. We are going to hopefully catch them in their act. Hey, Tim.
Ask him that now.
I have another question. Zion Lutheran students want to know, what is your best-selling product?
Our best-selling product is the product that's being produced right now, actually. It's organic whole milk yogurt. So it's just plain yogurt. And I really think that that has a fantastic profile on it. And it's our most widely distributed product. It's really what put us on the map as a company. So what you can see behind me again is this hopper here is filled with yogurt. You can see the yogurt line here. There's containers that are being dropped into the machine. They go through this conveyor belt, and that conveyor belt allows it to progress in the system. So it goes through the conveyor belt. It gets filled through these 2 filling nozzles here. And as we progress, you start to see the sealing film. So this is the film that gets put on in order to keep the product sterile, uncontaminated, and safe. After that, it goes through and gets a lid on it, and then it goes to the master casing. So this machine here is taking the single file yogurt that might come down the conveyor, and it's stacking it into 6 packs. Looks like they're working on it, just getting it starting up smoothly right now. But this machine is, we call it a case pack. So we sell all of our yogurt in case packs, whether it's 12 packs or 6 packs. Different customers want different container sizes. So I'm glad we got to see the yogurt being filled. That is the most exciting process. As you saw, everything is really enclosed. That's in order to keep everything safe from a consumption aspect and free of foreign material or anything on that nature. So yeah, any final questions as we're kind of getting close to the end?
Yeah, so it looks like we're out of time for the day, but we do have one last question. What do you enjoy most about your job?
I enjoy the people. It's really the most rewarding part of my job. We employ about 85 to 90 people in the community, and that's really what makes it rewarding at the end of the day is seeing those people, watching those people grow. You know, they might have a family in the community and having their little kids over here for barbecues or for holiday parties. That's really the most fun part of the job. I also love being creative. So that's definitely a fraction of my role is the innovation side. So I get to develop new products. I get to develop new flavors. And that creativity is a great outlet for me to kind of exercise some of my passions there as well.
Thank you, Blake, for taking the time to talk with students about Springfield Creamery, and thank you to all the students in classrooms for joining us